For the 15th time here on this channel, I am Seth Cole, and pleased to welcome you to the 15th annual running of the Snickers Cup Series Daytona 500. Snickers Cup Series enjoyed 10 full-length seasons here on this channel, and then it was time to move on. The series basically went into retirement, except for the Great American Race. We have had 5 Daytona 500s since then, including today's. So we're going to be getting set here for what should be a really exciting event, 50 laps of racing at the Daytona International Speedway. And for all of you that are looking forward to the upcoming series of the Duracell Cup Series, we are using the rules package here today that we will be using during the course of, I think it's 24 of 36 races of that season. So you guys will get a little bit of a taste of what to expect when the Daytona 500 comes around for the Duracell Cup Series starting event. So going to be very interesting here today as we have 40 drivers in the field, and we are getting set for what should be a really exciting race, and also should be a race that I'm hoping is going to bridge more on the side of really good green flag racing and potentially pit strategy rather than who's going to survive when and if the big one strikes. We're going to have to wait and see what happens, though, as it's an all-Ford Mustang front row as the 34 of Philip Goldberg lines up alongside of the 17 of Jordan Lopez. Then it's actually Mustangs completing the top 5, actually. You got the 22 in third, that is Dylan Young, alongside of the 21 of Bobby Frazier, and then completing your top 5 is the 16 of James Shelley. So the Ford Mustangs very strong here in qualifying. You can see a number of other Fords starting up towards the front as well. The 6, the 12, all up here inside of the front of the field. Also the 99 and the 10 there. So, man, the blue ovals very strong here in qualifying. Let's go down trackside, get the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
So as the command is given, and the pace car will lead them around here for half of a pace lap as the cars are stopped on the back straightaway for the grid here today. You can look down in the description below to be able to see the starting lineup for today's event. So how is this rules package going to work? What kind of racing is it going to bring about? Number of drivers that you have here in this field are locked into the Duracell Cup Series because of obviously being donors on the hashtag Daytona Dream GoFundMe, which is why this event is taking place. Thank you to everybody that donated and got us up to the $400 mark. We're actually up now to the $500 mark, so you'll be expecting sign-ups soon for the Reese's Rally Car Series, which will have a 10-race season. But with the $400 mark on the GoFundMe, that's why we are getting ready to go green flag racing here in the 15th annual Snickers Cup Series Daytona 500. Let's roll in the Great American Race! Outside line gets the jump. He will clear for the lead. So apparently that inside line, maybe that's a little slicker down there. You spin the tires or something, because Philip Goldberg had some difficulty. Lopez did not, and the driver who started on the outside of the front row leads the field down to turn 3. Starting to fan out a little bit there, and they will be 3 wide. That's James Qualls putting the 12 in the middle of Diego Yepes. Pole sitter Philip Goldberg up there on the top side, double wide further back though, is 3 wide up here towards the front of the field. That is for around the 6th position. The 3 wide further back now, that is Zach Rogers, that was Jack Mitchell and Chris Dullerton. That was closer to the rear of the field. Roush Fenway Racing, how about them? Right now, 1, 3, and 5, I believe, is where they're positioned on track. The 17 there. The 16 has his teammate in the 6 right behind him, Alvaro Torres, who we've seen is going to be over in the... Oh, got a car on the wall. That is Levi McIntyre, the 99. And they are going to get by him, it looks like. That's a couple of Roush Fenway cars up there in the wall, it looked like. Couldn't tell who the other one was, though. But Alvaro Torres is going to be over in the Super Stadium Truck Series. As at the front, pounding the back bumper of the 17 of Jordan Lopez. Meanwhile, side by side for 3rd place between James Qualls and James Shelley. And behind them, up top side, you got Kyle Matthews in the 5. Johnny Gardner there in the Hunt Brothers Pizza Ford. Behind him is the 43 of Matt McIntyre, one of our donors. here to all of the donors that were locked here into the Daytona 500 for donating on the GoFundMe. I want to give them all a special shout out. Matthew Rodriguez, Dylan Poteet, Michael Norman, Kyle Matthews, Benny Watson, Jesse Turner, James Shelley, Cole Baker, Zach Rogers, Carson Young, Dylan Young, Chris Dollarton, Carter Friesen, Jack Mitchell, Matt McIntyre, Austin LaPlante, and Levi McIntyre. Thank you to all of you. And again, for anybody that wants to donate on the GoFundMe and get locked into, especially the series coming up, the Duracell Cup Series, to get a locked-in ride, any amount locked in. We've got as well the February Daytona Dream 2019 diecast raffle going on, as Jordan Lopez has done a pretty good job kind of channeling his inner Dale Jr., controlling both lanes. Dylan Young leading the top side with Johnny Gardner, James Qualls leading the bottom with Matt McIntyre. So far the field has gotten rather, I don't know, calm, I guess we could say, as opposed to being 3 wide in a couple of places in the first few laps. So we might be settling into a long green flag run, which is bad news for some drivers that we saw were up and into the wall early on in this. One of them was Levi McIntyre. I couldn't tell who the other car was behind him. I was going to say Jordan Lopez, and then I realized Jordan Lopez was leaving the field. It was a blue car, but I'm not exactly sure who it was. So we're going to take the opportunity just for the moment to drop to the back, as they were almost 3 wide there. Bobby Frazier thought about making it 3 wide with Philip Goldberg. See who has lost the draft. That might have been the blue car I saw on the wall, the 42 of Roger Ray. Looks like Levi McIntyre managed to stay with the lead. Here, you can see him on the middle with Austin LaPlante, and I believe that's Carson Gum there on the top side. Zach Rogers here towards the rear of the field, along with Zach Winkle. I believe that's Cole Baker moving down behind him there in the 18. Sebastian Kugel on the 13 back here, as well as Michael Norman. So right now, the one driver that is hoping and praying for a caution is Roger Ray, because he has lost the draft. Looks like everybody else is up in the lead pack, and the lead pack's kind of gotten split up a little bit there. Tristan Allen, the last car in this first group, and he crosses the line in the, looks like about maybe 12th position. Got the 60. Oh, maybe it was the 60 I saw get up in the wall with Levi McIntyre, actually, now that I think of it, because that's the Fastenal Ford Mustang out of Roush Fenway Racing. And I might have gotten him confused, obviously, with the 17, because both are running Fastenal as sponsors. That might have been the car that was up in the wall when Levi McIntyre was up in the wall. I was pretty sure it was a Ford. I was pretty sure it wasn't a Chevy, so not sure what happened to Roger Ray to make him lose the draft, but obviously, as we documented, he's quite a ways back. Top 3 will get single file, and now Dylan Young might have a shot to do something with Jordan Lopez. And as soon as I say that, James Qualls takes a challenge again for second place, but not going to be able to do it. So right now, Fords 1 and 2. Then you got Chevys 3 and 4. Then another Ford and Johnny Gardner 5th. Then you got another Chevrolet. That is Benny Watson, the Napa Chevrolet out of Hendrick Motorsports now, trying to crack the top 5. 3 wide back there is, boy, everybody jumped up to that middle and high line, and Matt McIntyre got a car up in the wall. That's the 11 of Cody Lamas, right in front of Kyle Matthews. Matthews going to let him get off the wall and get in front of him, but that kind of backed up the whole outside line. Tristan Allen's going to tuck in front of that. Look at this 3 wide action here with Matt McIntyre. That's Jesse Turner, the 14 to the inside. Right behind him, Chris Dollarton. We saw him 3 wide earlier on in the rear of the field. Now he's up almost into the top 10. Jack Mitchell, an entry out of Chip Ganassi Racing, the number 40. Oh, we got a car on the apron. Levi McIntyre. I don't know if he went down there of his own accord or got forced down there, but he's trying to get back up on the track, and it looks like they're going to let him back up there. Fortunate there, we didn't have a wreck. Boy, they're going crazy all through this field. McIntyre getting 2 tires down the apron, right in front of Carson Gum, probably giving the driver the number 20 a heart attack. And the top 2, all this mayhem going on behind them as they are single file. Now Matt McIntyre still in a hornet's nest. He's got Vince Almriego, the 88, right behind him, trapped in that middle lane. To the inside is Daniel Voiles in the 32 out of Fast Racing. And now it looks like Almriego's going to be able to get himself down to the bottom. Tries to tuck in right in front of Levi McIntyre as Cody Lamas in the wall again there in the 11. That time he was in front of, I believe, Carter Friesen and James Shelley, holding them up a little bit. Look up here, up front. Dylan Young no longer in single file formation with the 17 of Jordan Lopez as Johnny Gardner to the outside, and then his teammate Jesse Turner to the inside. It's a Ford 3-wide sandwich for second place. Ooh, that middle line, a little push there, help from Jack Mitchell. Dylan Young up to second. Now he jumps to the top side for Johnny Gardner, but there comes that middle, or the inside line. Turner, along with Voiles and Almriego, they're going to make some hay on the bottom. Turner's going to clear for second. Whoa! Went up to try and get in front of Dylan Young, couldn't do it. Now tries to come back down in front of Daniel Voiles. He's going to get to the inside of Jordan Lopez. First challenge for the lead here today for the 17. Got a car up in the wall. Looked like that might have been the 36 of Freddie Soto. And indeed it is. He's going to drop way back there. He was right in front of the 60 of Larry Hagan, so they've both lost some ground now due to the slip up by the 36. Lopez on that top side and help from Jack Mitchell trying to clear for the lead again. Turner's not going to allow him. Turner actually led that last lap, so that was our first lead change of the day here on lap 12. Lopez feeling pressure for the top position for the first time since taking the lead away from the pole sitter of this race, Philip Goldberg, back at the drop of the green flag. He now clears for the top position once again. I gotta say, if this is the kind of racing we're gonna have in the Duracell Cup Series Daytona 500, I am really looking forward to getting that season started, no doubt about it. Starting to see some names popping up here towards the front we haven't talked about today. How about the Hendrick Motorsports Chevys? Got the 88 of Vince Almriego, couple cars behind him, the 48 of Austin LaPlante, and then a couple cars behind him, the 24 of Jonathan Zorlin. So we're starting to see the Chevy bow ties making their way up towards the front of the field, and one of them's gonna go for the lead, Almriego to the inside of Lopez for the top position. Trying to use that side draft. He tries to get up right alongside the 17 going into 3. He's going to be alongside of him. Will he clear him off turn 4 is the question. Turner made a challenge, but he didn't clear Lopez for the top spot. Almriego trying to be the first driver to be out in clean air with the top position. Not yet quite clear on the 17. As Lopez battles back on the top side. This battle's going to continue over here into turn 1. Lopez with help from Jesse Turner, still side by side between the 88 and the 17. Carson Gum right on the back bumper of Almriego. Daniel Voiles right there with him. It's pretty even on the high side and the low side. Who's going to get the better straightaway speed here down the backstretch? LaPlante now moves low 3 wide. Zorlin, his teammate, right there with him as they're still side by side. Oh, Turner! Turner went way too fast in the corner. Up into the wall goes the 14 car as they're catching the 42 of Roger Ray. And Almriego, because of that whole high line dissipating, he's going to go to the lead. But here comes Carson Gum to the bottom, trying to get a Toyota out in front for the first time today. And boy, catching Roger Ray when they did really broke this field up, no doubt about that. Everybody, it looks like a grenade exploding. The fragments are all over the track, as now we've got only 3 cars up in this lead pack, then about another 10 cars in a second pack, then you've got the 12 all by himself, and then another pack of about maybe 20 trying to catch back up as Almriego pulls out straight ahead for the top position. That second pack caught this group of 3. Carson Gum trying to get some help, trying to get a big run, big push from the 24 of Jonathan Zorlin, and he will get to the inside out of 4. He's going to actually get so much momentum, he'll clear him before they get to the start-finish line. So Carson Gum to the point, 3 wide behind him. Here comes Bobby Frazier to the bottom in the 21. 37 there of Shane Lake. First time we've seen him up here inside the top 10. Right in the middle of the Bush Beans Chevrolet out of JTG Daughtery Racing. Also the 10, first time we've seen Jay Jefferson up here towards the front, and look at how the field is split up, and this is all because of where they caught the 42 of Roger Ray, who is now a lap down. Matthew Rodriguez up in this lead group along with Austin LaPlante, but then it's a long ways back before you get to this second group, which has infinitely more cars, and we got a couple cars up on the wall. That's Chris Dollerton and Kyle Matthews. They're going to try and get it off the wall and keep in touch with this group. Look at them, almost 4 wide as Quall's up there and into the wall through the tri-oval. That's Gardner, Shelley, and Diego Yepes 3 wide, battling for what I believe would be the 13th position. They're about to catch Daniel Voiles, who I think got the wall out of that lead group. That's why he's dropped back to this second group. And up in this lead group, I think I'm counting 12 drivers up in this lead pack. It's Carson Gum. Now trying to block all lanes. Vince Almriego wants the top spot back. Here comes his teammate, though, leading the inside line, Jonathan Zorlin, with help from Shane Lake. Little contact maybe there for the wall for Vince Almriego, and he's going to get a right side. He'll lead that lap over Carson Gum. Trying to clear him into turn one. I think he's got him. Carson's trying to battle back on the bottom. Gets to the left rear quarter panel, now to the door. Now they're side by side again, but look at how they're lined up on that outside line. There's about maybe 7 cars on the outside line as opposed to 6 on the inside line. And now you see Bobby Frazier peel out of line. That's going to get the outside line the push. That's going to push Almriego clear to the race lead once again. So now the question is, this group up here of about 12, 13 cars, how soon are they going to be reeled in by this group, who are 3 by 3? That is 3, 4, 5 rows deep of 3 wide action. 4 wide through the tri-oval. Carter Friesen, Johnny Gardner, this is not going to work. This is where a wreck's going to happen. It's going to happen right here, right now, unless they, by some miracle, can settle it out. That put Benny Watson up into the wall, and somehow, even though that's not exactly a good thing for Benny Watson, that was a saving grace for all these drivers because that did not bring out a caution, that did not cause a wreck. Oh my goodness, are they going to go 4 wide again? Boy, Philip Goldberg looked like he was ready to try it. That was amazing that they were 4 wide through the tri-oval and somehow did not wreck. That should have been our big one right there. That should have been our first caution of the day, and somehow it wasn't. Larry Hagan, who we saw on the wall earlier, he's now leading this second group. And Carter Friesen, his teammate Philip Goldberg there, and up on the top side, Sebastian Kukala on the Geico Chevrolet. Is this group up here, they're 2 by 2. And I think they are, with being 2 by 2 as opposed to 3 wide as that second group is. I think they might be pulling away and putting a little bit of daylight between themselves and that second pack, which is definitely a good thing for them because we are nearing the fuel window of green flag pit stops. The fuel window is somewhere around, I think, 27 to 30 laps. So these drivers, I think they're only going to have to make 1 pit stop today, but it looks like that pit stop, as things stand right now, will be under green flag conditions. Now, out of this group up here, all these drivers are on the lead lap with the exception of the 42. Roger Ray is a lap down. He is the only car a lap down, as I believe all 40 cars are still running. Yes, they are. A couple of other drivers look like have lost the draft, including Alvaro Torres in the 6, as well as Zach Winkle in the 41. Dylan Poteet and Cole Baker may have also lost the draft. We'll check on them in a moment. We've got a battle side by side for the lead. Here comes the 10 to the bottom of Jay Jefferson. He's got help from Carson Gum and Jordan Lopez. Trying to see if he can lead a lap. It's going to be a drag race between himself and Almriego. Almriego by a splitter is going to lead that lap and deny Jefferson a lap led here in the 500, at least for now. So we saw how quickly they caught the 42 of Roger Ray. If indeed drivers like Winkle and Torres have lost the draft, how quickly are they going to get reeled in? Right now they're battling side by side. They were in 3, the leaders were exiting out of 2, so they will probably get caught at some point in time. This is a battle on track for the 38th position. And this is a battle for 36th, Dylan Poteet and Cole Baker. These drivers back here just hoping and praying for a caution. And of course, they might get one when we end up having green flag pit stops, because this pit road's not exactly the easiest to get onto, especially where communication is involved. Spotters up there on the spotter stand trying to say, hey, you're on the pit road this time, please don't run us over. Sometimes that message doesn't get through clearly enough, and we end up having wrecks coming to pit road. As it looks like Jay Jefferson did lead that lap. And he did have almost an opportunity to maybe clear Almriego off of turn 2, but that whole inside line broke up again as Jordan Lopez moved low 3 wide. So that top side goes back to the front with Vince Almriego, help from Jack Mitchell, Jonathan Zorlin, Matthew Rodriguez, and Bobby Frazier. And I can hear those idling engines up ahead. I believe that is the 41 of Winkle, the 6 of Torres, who are about to be reeled in by this group. And depending on where they catch them and how quickly they dissipate of them, could really depend on that second group being able to maybe catch up or at least gain some ground as we close in on the fuel window of green flag pit stops. There you can see them in the same shot, the leaders and these drivers on the tail end of the lead lap. Talked about how Ford was so strong in qualifying. We've only got a handful of Fords up here in this lead group. Jefferson, Lopez, Dylan Young, and Bobby Frazier right now. wide here. Do we have some drivers maybe pitting? Is that why they went 3 wide, or is it because we're catching up to this traffic? No, nobody's coming to pit road, and look at this, they're going to all get boxed in. Because the 6 and the 41 were side by side, it's all boxed in. Nobody can make a move to pass them. Lopez going to try and make it 3 wide on the bottom, and it might work. Trying to clear the 6, his teammate, as well as the 41 of Winkle, who was a teammate to Jay Jefferson there in the 10. You'd think he'd be wanting to get out of his way, and Lopez, he's going to get through for the lead. So Jordan Lopez goes back to the point. These drivers now in this group, they're going to be up to speed, and they're going to be a little bit of a moving chicane for drivers on the lead lap. I think something's desperately wrong with Roger Ray. He was off the pace to start this race. I don't know if he got in the wall or not, but he has lost this lead group as well that he was with. You would have thought he'd have been able to merge with them, but no, that's not the case. So there's something probably mechanical wrong with the 42. So tough break there for Roger Ray as Jay Jefferson using the inside line and help from Shane Lake and Dylan Young. He goes to the point. Here comes Shane Lake, though. He's going to go to the inside. Dylan Young's going to stick with him rather than going with fellow Ford Mustang, Jay Jefferson. You got Cody Lamas there as well in the bottom. No, I'm sorry, that's actually Austin LaPlante on the bottom there in the 48. So Shane Lake now out in front. And again, when do these drivers pit? Because we've got about maybe 4 or 5 laps left until these drivers are definitely going to have to pit to be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel. Still no indication of anybody coming to pit road, as now Shane Lake going to turn back the challenge of Dylan Young. He's going to lead a lap. First time that he's been out in front in the 500 today. And I think we've got a couple other drivers that are going to be reeled in shortly. Cole Baker in the 18, Dylan Poteet in the 2, and we've also got the 36 back here, Freddie Soto. I had seen that Freddie Soto was at the tail end of the lead pack, or at least that big second pack. I thought maybe he was still in their draft. This obviously proves that is not the case. Now 3 cars about to maybe be reeled in by this group, and oh boy, up into the wall goes Jay Jefferson right in front of Lopez. Zach Winkle into the wall as well. A couple of Stewart Haas racing cars getting the wall through 3 and 4. Dylan Young on the bottom. 4 cars on the bottom against 3 cars up top. So Dylan Young should have the run here going into turn 1 if they stay single file behind him. No, Bobby Frazier's going to peek out of line. He wants the lead. 3 wide in the top position into turn 1. Notice how that top line, though, is really well formed with Austin LaPlante, Jack Mitchell, Jordan Lopez, and Vince Arromiego. So watch that 36 shoot out to the lead here down the back straightaway. There you go. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh, a little bit of slicing and dicing. Some drivers moving around there. Lake still holds the spot, and now it's going to be Austin LaPlante getting a piece of the wall there through 3, but I think he got off it pretty quickly. Carson Gum now moves to 2nd, and here comes the Monster Energy Chevrolet out of Ganassi Racing. Matthew Rodriguez, his teammate Roger Ray, not having a good day today. Matt Rod trying to pick up the victory here. Carson Gum clears for the top spot. Very wisely shifts lanes up to the top side. Yes, he gave the inside line to Matthew Rodriguez, but that outside line pretty well formed and probably will get a good run down the back straightaway here. They've got 6 cars to the 5 cars on the inside. And now the inside's going to get broken up a little as Zorlin peeks out of line, but they did not clear Carson Gum from Matthew Rodriguez. Oh, now they've got more drivers up there. Jordan Lopez switches alliances from bottom to top. Austin LaPlante up there. Now they shift down low. So now Matthew Rodriguez might be able to battle back. Maybe not. Carson might have him cleared. I think he does. Next time by, 20 laps to go here in the Daytona 500. Carson's going to move down low, try and block the momentum that inside line has. Now moves back up top side with Shane Lake. Carson Gum doing exactly what you got to do here to be able to keep the lead in a super speedway race. Now the inside line breaks up a little bit as that's the lap car of Alvaro Torres moving to the inside. Outside line pretty well formed with Gum, Lake, Young, Mitchell, Almriego, and LaPlante, and I think they're going to push the 20 back out clear for the lead here at the start-finish line. 20 laps to go in the Great American Race. And these drivers have managed to go past what I thought was the projected fuel window. They've now run 30 laps. Oh, the caution is out! Caution flag is out, and that is a huge break for drivers like Cole Baker, Dylan Poteet, and Freddie Soto, who might have in the next couple of laps been trapped a lap down. We are racing back to the yellow. Matthew Rodriguez with a big run, help from Bobby Frazier. Here comes Zorlin to the inside 3 wide with a big run, the 24. To the line, it's going to be Matt Rod versus Zorlin as there was a wreck out of turn 4. Who's going to lead us under our first caution of the day? Looks like it's going to be Zorlin. He gets a good run there, and he does get it by maybe a splitter. He might have gotten a little bit more than that. Someone smoking up ahead. We had a big wreck out of turn 4. And that is James Shelley in the 16. Another car in the apron there. Oh, that is actually the pace car. But James Shelley looks like he took a hard hit. And that Lily Diabetes Ford Mustang. And that is going to bring out the yellow flag. And as I said, big break for these drivers here. Well, looks like we got some more drivers there. Matt McIntyre, Michael Norman were involved. But these drivers right here, big break for Poteet, Soto, and Baker. Looks like there's some damage on the rear of Kyle Matthews, Tristan Allen, the 95. A lot of damage on the front and rear of that machine out of Levine Family Racing. Carter Friesen's on the apron there. I can't tell if he's got damage or not. Looks like there might be a little bit of front-end damage on Zach Rogers, Bass Pro Shops Toyota. There might have been a couple of drivers here that didn't get through completely unscathed. It's kind of hard to tell with drivers that have the right side damage because that could have very well just been from going up and getting the outside wall. So this is a huge break as well, I think, for everybody that was not involved in the wreck because now they can all come to pit lane under this caution, and some drivers are staying out. Why? You cannot make it. I know this for absolute certain. You cannot make it 50 laps on 1 tank of fuel. These drivers are going to have to pit before this race is over. And so Bobby Frazier, Carson Gunn, Vince Almerego, Dylan Young, these drivers definitely making the smart move, coming to pit road under yellow. Why would you not pit under yellow, or why would you not pit under yellow when you have the opportunity, rather than take the chance of losing out on winning the Great American Race by having to make a green flag pit stop? Cole Baker stayed out. I had thought he, of all people, would have come to pit road along with Poteet and Soto, but he didn't. So Zorlin's going to lead. Maybe these drivers want to come to pit road on the second lap. I don't know. But anyway, let's go back, take a look at replay. What brought out the first caution of the day very late into the running of the Great American Race here at Daytona International Speedway. This was that second pack, and they were 4 wide in the middle of the corner. That's McIntyre, Shelley, McIntyre, and Allen. And there you just see, I think Shelley kind of crowded Matt McIntyre up the track, and boy, Sebastian Kukulon got a piece, Carter Friesen got a piece. So Matt McIntyre comes down right in front of Michael Norman. Couldn't tell if there was any contact or not for the 47 of Ryan Brommer. Chris Dollerton, that green car, going to try and sneak through. I think he might have cleared, so did Kev Shearer, and here's where Zach Rogers gets a piece of it right there. Gets into the back of the spinning Michael Norman. Larry Hagan, Benny Watson, I think they might have gotten through. Also, I think Diego Yepes might have gotten through as well. There's Kyle Matthews. Now, I thought we saw Kyle Matthews with rear-end damage, and I don't see rear-end damage on him right now, so I don't know if he got run into during the wreck and we just can't see it from his camera angle, or if that was from something earlier. A couple other drivers really glad for that yellow. Johnny Gardner, Daniel Voiles, and Cody Hagan all going around there. They had obviously lost the draft. And that's going to bunch everybody back up for this restart with less than 20 to go for sure. Let's get another camera angle. Yeah, I'm not really sure why James Shelley moved up, to be honest, because he was clear on the 99. His teammate there, Levi McIntyre. McIntyre was down the yellow line, but it wasn't if he was making a move. I wonder if Shelley had a tire going down, because remember, we had gone 30 laps into this run. Drivers had not been to pit road. It was just like that car didn't want to turn. There's just nowhere for anybody to go when they're boxed up on that outside line. Carter Friesen, Zach Rogers, Matt McIntyre, all basically at the mercy of the 16 car. And then usually what goes up comes down with the banking of these turns and down to Michael Norman. Oh, James Quall's got a piece of that there on the right front. Didn't see that. And I'm watching for the 5 back here of Kyle Matthews, and I don't see him getting run into by anybody. So I'm very curious of where he got that rear end damage. I don't know if there was a stack up under caution or not, because I do not see any damage on the Kellogg Chevrolet, at least right here, or any evidence of him getting run over. So that brings out the caution for the first time here today. Let's line them up, get ready to go. And boy, this is going to be interesting because, as I said, I don't think the drivers that decide to stay out, I don't think they can make it on fuel. So we'll have to see if they decide to stay out an extra lap and come to pit road on the second lap of caution, or if they really are going to try and stretch it. Well, they will make the attempt. Obviously, they think one of two things. Either one, they think that they've got, I don't know, super technology tanks that are going to allow them to make it 50 laps, and that this caution they were able to save enough to be able to make it the rest of the way, which I just don't see that happening. Or they feel that was not the last caution we're going to see, and they'll be able to pit under a later yellow flag. Whatever the case, we're going to have to see if the strategy works out for them or not. We're going to have some lap cars to deal with on that inside line. Carter Friesen, Alvaro Torres, Roger Ray, and Zach Winkle. And drivers that will not make it back for this green flag to restart this race include Tristan Allen, Matt McIntyre, James Shelley, and Michael Norman. So 36 cars still running, 32 of them on the lead lap. It's Jonathan Zorlin the leader, Matthew Rodriguez second, Jordan Lopez third, Jack Mitchell and Austin Blank in the top five, Jay Jefferson, James Qualls, who did get a little piece of that wreck, is going to line up in seventh. Jesse Turner, Benny Watson, and Zach Rogers lines up in 10th place. I'm pretty certain he's still got that damage. So we'll see what happens with him. The first car to hit pit road, I believe, was Bobby Frazier in the 21, and he's going to restart back in 16th. So that might be where we're looking at our eventual winner of the 500 as we get ready to go back green with 15 laps remaining in the Daytona 500. Rodriguez got his teammate Jack Mitchell right there with him as they made a quick move to the bottom on Jonathan Zorlin, who didn't quite yet have Jordan Lopez to his back bumper, and Matt Rod's going to clear. So Jack Mitchell, being a teammate there, going to help push the one to the lead, but now he wants the lead for himself. He's got a nice run side by side between Mitchell and Rodriguez. It looks like Mitchell's going to clear for the spot. Help from Jay Jefferson, and here you go. I think they're slowing and coming to pit road. This is what I was talking about. I don't understand why they decided to stay out. It was a stupid call, at least in my opinion, and now it's probably going to cost them a chance at this race because everybody that came to pit road under the yellow, this is just going to play right into their hands. Matthew Rodriguez with the race lead. I don't know if he couldn't get to pit road or if he thought he could stay out an extra lap. It might come back to bite him, as I think he could maybe be running out of fuel here. He is. He's out of fuel. He's trying to get to the bottom, right into Vince Almariego, trying to force his way to the inside. He's out of fuel. Is the Monster Energy Chevrolet. So again, why these drivers decided not to pit, I don't know, but it's going to come back to haunt them. Someone else is out of fuel up here. Might be the 34. Yes, it is. Philip Goldberg. He's going to get his car now to the bottom. Try and get out of the way. That's going to split the field up for sure. Race lead, I believe, now is going to be... Is it Bobby Frazier in the 21? No, it's Shane Lake in the 37, who's got a huge gap back to Bobby Frazier. He's got the lap cars with him of Roger Ray and Zach Winkle. There's Zach Rogers just now returning back to the track. Apparently that hood damage, not bad. They didn't even bother repairing it on pit road. So now Bobby Frazier's got to catch up. He's got Freddie Soto right behind him. Remember, Freddie Soto was in danger of losing a lap under that big green flag run. Also, Daniel Royals up here in the top 5 now in the 32. So can these three work together to run down Shane Lake? It looks like the 19's coming back to pit road. Oh no, he just slowed through the corner. They're going to get around him safely though. Then you've got Chris Dollerton, Levi McIntyre, Ryan Brommer, Kyle Matthews. Does Kyle have rear end damage? Maybe I thought I saw rear end damage on the 5 and I was just seeing things based on the way the mountains around there. I don't actually see any damage on him now. So that might have been a bad call on my part, as now they're trying to get around Zach Rogers. Got Dylan Young up here as well as Diego Yepes, all with a shot maybe of winning this Great American Race if they can catch up. Then you got Kev Shearer back here along with Johnny Gardner, Larry Hagan. There's Dylan Poteet. Poteet's got damage. Damage on the left side. Don't know where that came from. That might have been an incident on pit road perhaps or something. I don't think that has him off the pace though. And then behind him, you've got Ryan Acosta, the 26, Cody Lamas in the 11. I think those are the drivers right now that you're basically looking at with a shot of winning this thing, as everybody else I think had to be to pit road. Kukulon is 17th. I think he's still on the lead lap, but he got damaged from that wreck. And there's drivers that had to pit. Jefferson and Qualls and Mitchell and all these guys here. They're just hoping that a caution helps them catch up or something, I guess. I think they're on the tail end of the lead lap. Shane Lake still the race leader, though. I think he just passed Cole Baker. Is now a lap down. All these drivers, I think, behind him are a lap down. Almariego in the 88. Of course, Winkle and Torres, they were already off the lead lap, as was Roger Ray. But now Shane Lane's got himself some friends up here with 10 laps to go and about 4 seconds in hand back to Bobby Frazier. 6 drivers in this pack. This group trying to get together. Be about a pack of 7. At second place, battle 8. Trying to see if they can do something to catch up to this group of 6, which right now is the leader and 5 lap machines. These guys start getting racy, and that's going to really hinder Shane Lake, who now gets kicked up to the high side, which would not be such a terrible thing here today. 42, the 6, off the lead lap, as well as the 41, but all obviously are up to speed. Vince Almariego led a good portion of the race early on, now finds himself trapped a lap down because of the call to stay out under that caution, and ended up running out of back straightaway, which obviously lost him not only positions on track, but a lot of time on the racetrack as well. As we look at the ticker, Shane Lake now has over 5 seconds back to second place, which right now is in the possession of Chris Dollerton. Leader is on the back straightaway, right in the middle of the back straightaway. Second on back, they are just coming out of turn 2, so they got a whole half back straightaway to try and catch up, and they're still racing side by side with each other, which is not going to help. Good news for Shane Lake, too, is if these guys up here continue to race, he might be able to catch this group. That'd be an even bigger pack that he could work with. Justin Turner now in the 27th position, and I believe that is the last car on the lead lap. Now this group getting a little bit broken up there. Roger Ray trying to get a lap back. I think this actually would put him on the tail end of the lead lap now. Same for Vince Almariego, trying to at least finish this race on the lead lap, and if they catch up to that group up ahead of them, that would be more positions they would battle for, actually. Last time by, another half second gained by Shane Lake. This group back here not doing what they need to do to make up ground. They continue to battle for second place. Have they thrown the white flag? Are they handing this win to Shane Lake? Still about half a straightaway to try and catch up to Shane Lake. And now they're going to catch up to this group. I think maybe a big reason why this group here was pulling away, they might have been getting the draft off the back of this group they were catching. Carter Friesen in the way. Shane Lake was able to clear him, though, had him perfectly placed, and now going to battle side by side with Jonathan Zorlin, who, remember, when we went back green, was the leader at the time, but then had to come to pit road under green flag conditions. And now finds himself trapped back in 25th, trying to battle to stay on the lead lap. Does that second group have anything for Shane Lake, who now is battling in traffic? Last time by was 6 seconds. If it increases this lap, I think they've run out of time. I think it's over. I think Shane Lake's got this win. At the line this time, another half second gained by Shane Lake. I don't think anybody's going to be able to beat him. I don't think anybody's going to be able to catch him. He's even passing cars right here on the tail end of the lead lap, working the draft, working the stuck-up, knowing exactly what he has to do. He's got so many cars right now between himself and second place, which right now is a side-by-side battle. They're not even concentrating on trying to catch the 47. And more importantly, Shane Lake was one of the drivers who came to pit road under that caution, so he is good to go on fuel. Now working with Jay Jefferson there, as well as Cody Hagan in the 8. Got Zorlin there and Benny Watson, Austin LaPlante, the Hendrick cars up on the top side. They're all battling for position. Shane Lake's battling to win this 500. Look at the cars back here that even if second on back were able to catch him, they would have to traverse through Roger Ray, Torres, Turner, Mitchell, Almariego, Winkle, Baker, as well as the 38 of Carter Friesen, who I'm not sure they've even caught him yet. Yeah, I guess they have. They've cleared him. And now you got 2 cars that have broken away there. Soto in the 36 and Dylan Young in the 22. This is a battle for second. We've also got a battle back here going on for 8th place between Larry Hagan, Dylan Poteen and company. They're going to try and split Carter Friesen. Oh, Kyle Matthews got held up, as did Kev Shearer, Diego Yepes, and Dylan Poteen. Look at Cody Lamas up there in the 11. He's got a shot for a top 10. He spent most of the first half of this race in the wall. Now they're going to catch up to Sebastian Kukl on the 13. He is off the pace, got involved in that wreck back on lap 30. Chris Dollerton, I think, is going to get away for second place. Now look at this, Shane Lake, where is he now? Did he clear all of this? Oh, there he is. He's up on the top side, still in this group. It's kind of like he's got his own little tank, his own little shield, boxed in here with a whole bunch of drivers that are either a lap down from the tail end of the lap, depending on where they're positioned to the 37. The last thing he needs, though, is one of these drivers to wreck him. So he's got about 2.5 laps until he's going to join a list of drivers that have named themselves Snickers Cup Series Daytona 500 winners. Gonna drop back here and see about this battle for second. It now is in the possession of Daniel Voiles. How about Levi McIntyre? We saw him on the apron early on, trying to keep the thing in one piece, and he's up in the top 5. Carter Friesen played a big factor in that, as now it's Johnny Gardner, Larry Hagan, Cody Lamas, and Ryan Acosta. They're all battling for 9th place now. Going to catch Sebastian Kukl on. Getting there on Ryan Brommer's number 47 as he's side by side with Freddie Soto for what would be the 7th position. Chris Dollerton clearing for second. Looks like the best battle on track is going to be for second place here today. Boy, this is a hornet's nest, though, if you're Shane Lake. Of course, he's out in front of it, though. So that's the best place to be, no doubt about it, if you're Shane Lake. White flag is in the air. One more lap to go in the Great American Race. Shane Lake just has to hit his marks and hope nobody behind him gets into his left rear quarter panel. There's 3 wide behind him. Almariego's going to get to the inside. He wants to finish this race on the tail end of the lead lap. I don't think Shane Lake's going to give it up that easily. Down the back straightaway, all these drivers are a lap down to the leader. Second place, nowhere in sight. As 3 and 4, the last 2 corners for Shane Lake. The 37 out of JTG Daughtery Racing is going to go to victory lane. Shane Lake's going to join the list of the immortals who can call themselves Snickers Cup Series Daytona 500 winners. He takes the checkered flag here today in the Great American Race. I think we can go back to when that caution came out. Shane Lake was one of the drivers that decided to come to pit road, and he got himself positioned when the green flag flew for the restart to put himself in the right place at the right time, and he just pulled away from everybody else. What was it? Was it Carter Friesen? The move he made on him that I think everybody else got held up and it allowed him to really just pull away. Also as well, great job by his pit crew getting him that pit stop. He got out off of pit road. I think it was with, was it Torres and Winkle? So he had some drivers, even though they weren't necessarily on the lead lap, he had some drivers that he was able to work with and lay down fast enough lap times to get away, and there was really no challenge in those final few laps for this race win. Shane Lake took it easily by over 13, almost 14 seconds over Chris Dollerton, who eventually brought it home in second place. Third was Daniel Voiles, Dylan Young in fourth, Bobby Frazier there in fifth. Sixth was Levi McIntyre, seventh Ryan Brommer, Freddie Soto brought it home in eighth, ninth was Cody Lamas, and Larry Hagan completed the top 10. Basically everybody else that finished on the lead lap were drivers that came to pit road under that caution. Matthews will get 11th, Gardner in 12th, Ryan Acosta 13th, Kev Shearer 14th, Poteen 15th, and last car to finish on the lead lap today was Diego Yepes in the 16th position. Look on down at all these other drivers, and these were all drivers that really had to come to pit road under that caution, or under the green flag, that last restart with 15 to go. Vince Almariego was 17th. He had a strong car here today, but boy, just a bad call as far as pit strategy. Lopez also had quite a number of laps out in front. He finished 18th. Qualls was 19th. Hagan in 20th. Cody Hagan, that is. LaPlante in 21st. How about Alvaro Torres and Roger Ray? They came to pit road under that caution, and they were trapped a lap down, but they still managed to finish in 22nd and 23rd with passing drivers that had to pit under that last green flag run. Carson Gum brought it home 24th, Watson 25th, Mitchell 26th, Winkle was 27th, Turner in 28th, and the rest of the drivers to finish out off the lead lap included Jonathan Zorlin, who was the leader when we went back green, Cole Baker, 31st, Kukulon in 32nd, Matthew Rodriguez, boy, running out of fuel on the back straightaway where he did. Boy, that really cost him a lot of time on track. He finished 33rd. Philip Goldberg, who started on the pole, 34th. Zach Rogers and Carter Friesen both had some damage. Both had gotten caught up in the wreck that took place back on lap 30. They finished 35th and 36th, 2 laps down. And the drivers that were out of the race after said caution, 37th Tristan Allen, 38th Matt McIntyre, 39th James Shelley, and Michael Norman finished in the 40th position. But that is going to do it here today from the Daytona 500 for the Snickers Cup Series, the 15th annual Snickers Cup Series Daytona 500, and Shane Lake is the winner here today. Hope you guys enjoyed this race. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. A reminder that we have reached the $500 mark on the GoFundMe, and so be staying tuned for signups for the Reese's Rally Car Series to be making its return back for a 10-race season. Also, you can head on over there. Any amount that you donate not only gets you a reserved ride into that series, but also gets you a reserved ride in the upcoming Duracell Cup Series and any other special events and or markers of the goals as far as the $100 mark on the GoFundMe in special events there. Thank you all so much, though, for tuning into this race. I will see you guys next time. You have been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Race That's Best. Shane Lake is the winner of the 15th annual Snickers Cup Series Daytona 500.